that? Is it a little more Strider than you expected?
Yeah, that was quite a scene. How'd you like to get that script?
Oh.
Okay, you're going to wrestle with another guy in a shower. By the way, you're going to be naked.
Naked.
And flailing. And the camera's going to be between your legs. Hope you don't mind.
Viggo Mortensen. Well, you know what? It's a David Cronenberg film. So, though I like his stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Crime drama.
It was okay. It helped me through the whole thing. I mean, I was interested to see what was happening.
Yeah. And, well, you know what? It had an interesting pacing because, though I guessed early on, I surmised what was happening and what was going on.
Right.
And so the script followed some different turns. Like, it didn't end the way you expected. You know, I mean, in a movie, generally you expect the big criminal to be taken down and the climax of the movie to be that type of thing or whatever. And this movie doesn't do that. It kind of sets you up and moves you in that direction, but then it kind of pulls back or whatever.
Right.
Or shifts focus, I guess would be a better term for it. Do you like this? I'm sure not quite as much, though, as History of Violence.
I was just going to say, if you only have time for one, I would skip Eastern Promises, and I would go right for A History of Violence.
Okay.
That's an excellent film. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This one was good.
I liked it a lot. I probably liked it more than you did, but that's
probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Preacher.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got looking at History of Violence. I got browsing like the top reviews on Netflix. What is all of these 1-star reviews on here? I think these people missed the point of the movie. You know what? And if they didn't watch it until the very end, they didn't even get to the point of the movie.
Yeah.
Because to me, it was very much about the relationship.
Yes.
Someone putting their past behind them and having a new life.
Yes.
And if you don't make it to the end, well, we always say this anyway, or at least I do. If you don't get to the end of the movie, I'm sorry, you don't get an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of these people, I don't know. They're just calling it grade A crap.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'd still say watch it over Eastern. You know what? Do a double feature. Because of course Viggo Mortensen is in History of Violence also.
Right.
He plays a very different character. Yeah, very good. Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Anyway, do a double feature and let us know what you thought. Tell us which one was better.
There you go. Let us know.
Yeah.
All right. So I was asking you about Preacher. What did you think about Preacher?
Preacher, you know what? The jury is still out on that one.
Okay.
We've watched every single episode. We're all caught up. We just watched the new one that came out a couple nights ago.
Why is the jury out on that one for you?
I don't know. Because right now I could take it or leave it.
For me, the pacing, it just started like a bat out of hell.
Didn't we talk about this already?
We did not.
Okay, maybe just you and I did.
So you and I did, which we normally don't do before we do this. You know, if we're going to talk about something, we do it on the podcast so it's fresh and spontaneous. But you and I did have a little bit of a conversation. And my statement was the fact that it started out like a bat out of hell. And I do that because I get that. They wanted to hook you, maybe.
Right.
You know what I mean? They wanted to show you a universe where anything is possible. And it doesn't quite keep up the momentum between the episodes. The pacing seems kind of off.
Right.
For me, I appreciate that world that they inhabit, which sounds silly or whatever, but when I run role-playing games, in the past when I did my vampire games or any of the GURPS games that I ran or whatever, that was the type of world that I ran where you never knew what was going to happen. Right. Anything was possible. I would give you a dice roll for just about anything. You could fight a dragon with a spoon if you chose.
Right.
You know, I'm going to give you a hell of a dice roll for it, but you've got that option.
Well, and this is, you know, it looks like every town USA, any country, you know, but like the things going on there, anything goes. You never know what's around the corner, who you're really talking to.
This is true.
Yeah, so it's an unsettling environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good.
Okay.
I mean, it's supposed to be.
But just the pacing is a little bit off for you to enjoy or to say that you're committed to it, or
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not sure. I'm not totally feeling it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I can see there's some really good things going on. I think it's going to be very successful.
Yeah.
Just because it's not floating my boat, I could see where it would float a lot of other people's.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, I could take it or leave it, so I'm going to keep taking it.
Okay.
Maybe,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that brings us now to our crawling chaos.
Okay.
Yeah. So, crawling chaos, what do you got for us?
Well.
Something short and sweet, I hope.
Why are you saying that?
I don't know. I was trying to help you out and give you a lead in.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Okay.
I know why you said that. It's because I said I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet.
Okay.
Because this is a topic I could probably just start rambling.
That was my segue, so
yes, thanks for that.
All
yeah,
right.
Keep me reeled in. Well, I just, this last week, every so often I see something on Facebook that just annoys the living crap out of me.
Okay. That's when you're the best, when you're freaking out.
Oh, I was super freaking out. It even made me talk to strangers, and I don't usually do that. I don't get involved. You browse Facebook. My whole Facebook newsfeed is all my fan pages. Like, I don't even follow real people on there. A couple people who I like and that post fun things.
All right.
But for the most part, I don't want to see people's
So what did you see?
Arguments and political stuff and all that crap. Okay, so there was a lovely post that one of my movie fan pages posted about Robin Williams.
Uh-huh.
It had his picture, and so it caught my eye because I love Robin Williams. I have ever since I was a child. We were, of course, of an age where we were able to watch Happy Days as they were airing.
Yeah.
And that's the very first place that Mork showed up because, of course, usually people in our age group go, oh, my gosh, Mork and Mindy. Well, Mork started on Happy Days.
That's right, yeah.
And
they were trying to keep up with Star Wars.
And I love sci-fi, right? I
Right.
even did when I was a child. So anytime Mork showed up, of course, Happy Days had jumped the shark, and that was a stupid idea. But as a child, this alien keeps showing up here in Happy Days. So yeah, I thought he was awesome when I was a child, so I followed his career my whole life. I love him. Okay. So here was this picture on Facebook with some lovely quotes from one of his movies that talked about, staying positive in life and looking towards the future. And they were quotes out of a character that he played in one of his movies.
Uh-huh.
So you were supposed to just look at the photo and read the quote and think it was lovely and like it or love it or give it a thumbs up and move on.
Right.
Well, so here were all these people. Well, he committed suicide, so I'm not going to listen to someone like that. I'm not a loser. I'm not a quitter. I don't give up.
Oh, my God.
Why should I blah, 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 blah. Okay, I wanted to punch people out through my computer. I'm going to explain why. Because then I realized, you know what? People see in their newsfeed when somebody dies, and
Right.
they read the very first thing.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, with Robin Williams commits suicide, no one really knew what had happened or what the story was.
Right.
People knew he had a history of drug and alcohol problems.
Right.
I think a lot of people assumed he overdosed or he just committed suicide because whatever, he's a loser and he just had to get out of this world and, whatever. So, but since I follow his career and I'm interested, you learned a lot of things about his death, the following months.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized, wow, everybody just read the headline and moved on with their lives.
Yeah.
So that's the last thing they remember.
Right.
This was going to be short and sweet, right?
Wasn't like you said, you could go on for a while.
Sorry. Well, I feel very passionate about this.
Yes, I see that.
Like I'm getting upset all over again. So yeah, this guy on there wrote some awful paragraph about how, I've had hard times in my life too, and I don't commit suicide. I know you have to keep going, and I'm not some loser that's going to give up and leave my family behind and blah, blah, blah. So here's what I found out about Robin Williams just a couple months after he died, which everybody else on the planet apparently missed. He was very sick.
Yes.
And he was also clean. He was not depressed. So there was a lot of people going on and saying, "Oh, I suffered depression too. I understand why he did it. I've thought of committing suicide myself because I've suffered depression my whole life." He was not depressed. His wife confirmed that. So did all of his doctors. He maybe had some depression going on, but that's not what motivated his action. And his autopsy showed he was totally clean. He was completely sober for a really long time. No drugs or alcohols present. And his prescription medications were at the correct levels. So, he wasn't abusing his meds or anything. But he had Parkinson's disease, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Right.
So he'd been diagnosed with Parkinson's a while back and was starting to experience some physical issues with that. And if you know anybody in your life who has Parkinson's, it sucks.
Yeah.
But what also happened, it wasn't just Parkinson's. He maybe would have pushed through that. I feel like he maybe would have. But he actually had a condition called Lewy body dementia, and this is the thing that I think nobody knows he even had Parkinson's, and he kept the Lewy body dementia totally a secret, and his wife confirmed that. I listened to a interview on the radio. I listened to just disgusting amounts of talk radio. She did a couple guest spots on a couple different shows and talked about it when she was able to, but Lewy body dementia is like, well, maybe we'll put a link in the show notes.
Okay.
It's not just regular dementia. Your whole body deteriorates. So he had both Parkinson's and this. So I guess to make a long story short, I'll just read this one little bit here that I actually found on, it's on Wikipedia, but it says that Williams' doctors believe that Lewy body dementia was a critical factor that led to his suicide. And a year later, his widow echoed this diagnosis, saying that Williams' suicide was not motivated by depression, but by Lewy body dementia and Parkinson's. And she said, quote, "If Robin was lucky, he would have had maybe 3 years left." So he had only maybe 3 years to live if he was lucky.
Right.
And I heard her on the radio talking about, he was getting confused. He was losing his balance. He felt like he was always spinning. He couldn't write anymore. Like everything was just leaving him all at once. And it's a horrible disease to watch your loved one go through. She went on record saying that she had a feeling that's what he was planning on doing, leaving the world gracefully.
Yeah.
She knew he didn't want her to watch him go through that and to have to care for him, because your body completely just craps out and you have to be cared for.
Right.
He, said goodbye to her and everything in kind of a funny way that she thought, well, that was a little odd. But she kind of had an inkling, but so it wasn't a total surprise. The point is, headlines and things like
don't tell the whole story.
No,
yeah.
They don't. And don't pretend like you know everything about everything unless you've researched everything and read everything. Don't be a dumbass and don't be critical and don't act like you know everything.
So,
and that's for that guy on Facebook that I'm talking to.
Okay.
And I posted...
Because I was just going to say, we just admitted that we never check out movies or we never follow up the facts.
That's something totally different.
Okay, sorry. I was just trying to lighten it up.
Movies is entertainment, and but see, you saw what I did earlier in the show. Last week, I was so hard on Zombie World, I tried to find a 5-star review.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, that's me. That's not everybody. Let's find out. But you know what? That's entertaining.